we're leaving, we see the cameras, right? There are camera pointing at where we left the bag. My sister's like, can we see the footage of the camera from that day? He's like, oh yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. So, I'm there like, I'm gonna finally see who was the son of a bitch that did this. Guys, I shit you not. This man comes out with my watch in his hands. And he says, he gives it to me. He says, next time, don't come to school with expensive things. Before we start the video, I want to give you a brief history about the belt. Now you might be asking, what is the belt? Well, to anyone in my audience that has had the pleasure of growing up with black parents, no matter where you're from, I'm pretty sure all of us had it the same. The belt is a weapon mainly used by black fathers to install some punishment on their offsprings. I had the pleasure of having a soldier as a dad. So, my dad had a variety of them, you know? He had some smooth, some slick, some, beautiful ones. But there was one that instilled fear in my brothers and I's faces, like every time. We called it the pain giver. So, let me give you an example of how much fear it generated. If my dad came home and he was like, who broke this vase? We would instantly snitch. Because we knew if no one said anything, everyone was going to get their asses beat. And no one wanted a single swing of that belt. And it was one of those military, with the holes, iron, like they have little metal circles around the belt. So yeah, that's going to be handy for later in the story. So this story takes place in high school, the one that I mentioned in my previous video. If you missed that, I'm going to leave it in the cards above and in the link and then the description below. So make sure you watch this video before you're watching that. So I have told you people that I consider myself tall. I'm 6'2", give or take. That's like 190, 192 probably. I don't actually know, I forgot. But like 6'2", and I have a passion for basketball. I played it in my youth at a club, and when I got to high school, my school created a team. That was the first time I had one of these things. Like, I know in America, you guys, play high school basketball, but we don't have that in Angola. It's mainly established teams, So yeah, it was really cool having a team in the school, and we had games throughout the season. So during the year, there was this moment that my dad came to visit, because if you remember, I was living alone with my sister at that point. My dad and the rest of my family was actually in another province or city. And my dad came to visit, and he brought a gift with him. He gave me a limited edition watch that only had 24 others. They only made 24 other watches. So this was pretty special. And it was a golden watch with automatic ticks. I don't know. I'm not a watch guy, but I can tell you that watch was very beautiful, and I liked it a lot. So my dad told me about how special it is, how expensive it is, and he just gave it to me. This was my first ever piece of jewelry. So, your boy flexed a little. So I used to go to school, the first day I remember, I went I was walking like this, yeah. Oh, what? The time? You want to know the time? No one asked you, Dave. No, you want to know the time, right? Even if no one wanted to know the time. But I showed it around a lot of people at school side because, I had to flex. Don't judge me. But yeah, so we had a game coming up. And as usual, I took everything, right? Before we went to school, I put my uniform and all this stuff in the bag. So school ends, everyone goes home except the players, and we're told that we have to change clothes at school and go to the other school ready to play. So I go there, I take off, I leave my phone, my watch, shoes, everything, right? We just leave it there and we bounce. This was our first ever away game. And trust me, playing in an environment where everyone's booing at you, it's really intense and fun at the same time. There's pressure, there's real pressure. I think we had fun because we won. We kicked their asses bad. But yeah, I even actually almost got into a fight. That might be a story. But yeah, we go there, we take care of business, easy as usual. And we head back to school. Since we're all cheerful, we just grab our stuff. My sister went to pick me up that day. I usually go home with like school transportation, but that day my sister, because it was really late, she went to fetch me. Yeah, we just grab the stuff. I don't even change. Go home. As I get home, like I'm unpacking the school bag, I'm like, where's my watch? So I check nothing. I'm like, what? I like double check, triple check, check 8 times. I'm like, where the hell's my watch? Mind you, I did not open the bag the whole way home. So I'm like, bro, my watch is missing, but I don't trip. Like, I'm like, okay, let's wait. Next day I go to school. I'm like to the guys I play with. I'm like, guys, is something missing from your bags? And they're like, nah, man, everything's here the way we left it. Like, it was right there, like the time we left it. I'm like, dude, my stuff is missing. Like, my watch is missing. They're like, bro, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. Who would take my watch? No one was at school. Like, all the students were already gone. The only people at school were the people that worked there. So, like, I go around, I'm asking for my watch. I go to the head of security at school, right? I'm like, hey, sir, like yesterday we had a game. We left our stuff here, and I'm missing, my watch is missing. He's like, no, we don't know what happened. We'll ask around, but don't worry. We'll find it. We'll try to find it. I'm like, okay, thank you. So, like, 4 days go by. I'm like, bro, where the hell's my watch? So I go talk to my sister after school. I'm like, sis, my watch is gone. Like, I can't find it. I've been looking at it for like 5 days, 4 days straight. She's like, damn, you gotta tell dad though. I'm like, nah. She's like, yeah, you should. I contemplated, and I was like, I'm gonna have to tell him eventually. So, because he was gonna ask. That was like, it wasn't, I did spend a little time with it, but not so much that my dad wouldn't notice that I'm not wearing it, because I was wearing that thing every day. So I'm like, he was in the living room. I'm like, Dad, you remember that watch you gave me? He's like, yeah, I remember that one. The golden watch, the limited edition, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. I lost it. He's like, what? Excuse me? I was like, I lost the watch during the game. The game that I had last week or this week? I lost my watch. He's like, this isn't a joking matter. Where's the watch? I'm like, I lost it. My dad, he gets up. He goes to his room. I'm already scared shitless at this point. He comes back with none other than Pain Giver. He whoops my ass right there in the living room hard. Like, he whipping my ass. He's like, you think you're gonna have enough money? You think you're ever gonna have enough money to buy this shit? Huh? I'm giving you a gift for it to lose it. I'm like, Dad, I'm sorry. Like, I'm crying at this point. I'm crying. He's whipping my ass. Like, that was such a bad instance in my life that after that ass whooping, it changed me. I'm not gonna lie. It changed me. Like, after that, I vowed that I was gonna make him eat his words. Like, I don't hold a grudge with my father. Like, if I had the same thing happen to me, I would probably also kick my son's ass. But I was like, I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna grow up, be successful, and when I get enough money, I don't even know how much the watch even cost. Like, I don't remember. I'm like, when I grow up, I'm gonna show him that I can also do this. So, but he's like, I want this watch in this house by Friday. Mind you, it was like Tuesday on that. Not Tuesday, like Monday. Yeah, probably Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. He's like, I want this watch here at least by Friday. That shit, like, I'm already crying. That struck like another fear. He's like, I'm gonna whoop your ass if you don't find it on Friday, I'm gonna whoop your ass until you find it. And then he sat down and continued, like, on his phone. I go to my sister. I'm like, sis, Dad said I have to find the watch until Friday. She's like, do you want me to go to school with you tomorrow? I'm like, yes. So I go to sleep angry, of course, as every kid went. And next day I go to school with my sis. So I go to school. We go to talk to the head of the security. Again, the guy. She's like, oh, hi. my brother said that he lost a watch here this week, or like I don't remember, but it hadn't been. I think it was still in the same week, and it hadn't been a week. I mean, it wasn't the same week, but it hadn't been a week, and we want to know if you've seen it. She's like, no. So she's like, no, we haven't seen it. He already spoke with us. We don't know. She's like, oh, can we? As we're leaving, we see the cameras, right? There are camera pointing at where we left the bag. My sister's like, can we see the footage of the camera from that day? He's like, oh yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. So I'm there like, I'm gonna finally see who was the son of a bitch that did this. Guys, I shit you not. This man comes out with my watch in his hands and he says, he gives it to me. He says, next time, don't come to school with expensive things. Have you ever felt the need to kill someone? Like an actual rage to actually kill someone? Guys, I stared at this man so much. I was glaring. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep. This guy, this son of a bitch got me fucked up. Like, my sister she's like, okay, thank you. Like, he's laughing at me. Bro, from that day on, every time this guy, I saw him pass, I did everything I could to mess with him. I threw up stuff at him while he wasn't looking. But trust me, until today, I hate that guy. Let's try to keep this PG even though I've already cursed. So, I get my watch. I continue on the day. I actually give it to my sister. I'm like, I don't want this shit. Just take it home. So, I get home. I'm like, Dad, I found the watch. She's like, okay. I lose my watch. I get my ass beat. And I get it. All I got after that was okay. Because of that son of a... I digress. That ass whooping changed my life because it actually like put a working machine in me, you know. I have the feeling that I want to be great. I want to have success. That's why I'm starting this YouTube channel. That's why I searched every day how to make money online. But yeah, man, that's the story how that ass beating actually changed the direction of my life. And it was by far the worst ass beating I ever got by my father. After that, he hasn't hit me ever since. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.